Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk soccer, University of Scranton. Two great programs, one last name. Matt and Colleen Pivirotto joining us right now. Well, Colleen, for you, the women's team has had an outstanding season, 17-1-1, and going to the dance this weekend. Let's talk about this season, really successful.
Yeah, we've had a great season. I mean, it's really led by, we've 8 seniors, and they've really led us to great success. We've had a lot of younger players step up, and it's just been an amazing ride so far. We're looking forward to it continuing on. 15
in a row is the streak early in the season. Your first loss was to a number 12 team in the country, and then, of course, a tie game against Western Connecticut State. But some of that competition, of course, prepares you for the landmark conference.
Yeah, you know, WestCon's going to the national championship, so is Swarthmore, and we've been able to play, I think, 6 or 7 teams in the national tournament. So having a high strength of schedule really helped us compete in our conference, and ultimately, I think, helped us win because we were used to that competition, and the girls were ready to go in those big moments.
And some of those wins, including Misericordia University, back then ranked 25th. Talk about some of the wins along the way and the growth of this team. Definitely seeing some good offensive outputs, but the defense seems to be steady.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, going forward, looking at some of those big games, the Muhlenberg game, who's a Centennial team, but we were losing, scored 2 goals with 5 minutes to go, and I think that really kind of showed the heart of the team. We tied it up with 5 minutes left and, you know, won in overtime, but I thought that really set the mark for us, where we were willing to, no matter what happened, push till the very last minute. And then going forward, getting that win at Misericordia was huge because it really gave the team a lot of belief that we were, you know, capable of beating the top teams in the country, and carried us forward to playing, you know, going to Catholic and beating at Catholic, who's the defending 2-time champions in the landmark. Those just gives you a lot of confidence, and we knew that, you know, we believed in ourselves. We knew we were capable of winning the conference and playing with the best teams in the country.
Let's talk about your keeper in Chrissy Welsh and the style that she has and what she could do there for you.
Yeah, Chrissy's had a great season. This is her 3rd year starting for us, and she has a lot of experience. The Misericordia game, she made a ton of saves. We were really taking a lot of shots at the end of the game, and she came up big. And in those big moments, she's been making some big saves for us, and that's been huge to keep us in games. And she's really good with her feet, so that's been a huge help. We can play back to her feet, and she's really helped us get out of that way. So kind of nice to have her the first line of defense.
And that offensive output, let's talk about some of the ladies have scored this year for the U.
Yeah, we've been scoring a lot of goals, which is nice. Sophomore, she's the co-offensive player of the year in the conference. Jamie Rennick, she's had a great year. She's 13 goals and really been able to score in big moments, a lot of game-winning goals. But we also have our center back, who is the defensive player of the year for the conference. Carolyn has 7 goals on the season. Our center mid, Hannah DeMars, has 8 goals on the season, and we have 2 or 3 other girls with 6 or 7 goals apiece. So it's kind of nice to have lots of different options to go to in those big moments, and it makes it difficult for other teams to figure out who to stop.
And, of course, great effort this whole year. How about this weekend and one game at a time? But talk about your opponent on Saturday and what you're looking forward to with that challenge.
Yeah, we played Connecticut College. They're a NESCAC school. They got not large. It's going to be a tough first-round game, but we feel like it's a good matchup and a game where hopefully if we go at them early and get a couple goals, hopefully we can win that game. But overall, we think it's a good pod for us, and we're just hoping that we can play at our very best and get a positive result and advance to Sunday.
Well, Colleen, great success this season. Congratulations, and go get them this weekend, okay?
Thank you.
All right, let's move along to husband, Matt Pivirotto, the coach of the men at the University of Scranton. And similar to your wife, a lot of success this year, 14-3-1 overall, Matt, and winning that landmark conference. You guys are the champs. Take us through this year.
Yeah, it's been a great year. You know, we returned quite a lot of players from last year's team, and we're we have 18 juniors and seniors, so a lot of these boys have been playing for 2, 3, 4 years now, so we have a lot of experience, and we've relied on that all season. We have great leadership in the team, and it's been a great season so far. I've really enjoyed it.
And a couple tough games in that middle stretch there in the beginning of September. Elizabethtown and Drew, you go down 2 tough 2-1 games, but as those playoffs come in, you're able to exact revenge against them and get to the dance.
Yeah, Drew and E-Town in the regular season were certainly games that we looked over on tape and found, a lot of positives out of them, and we just built on that, and we knew that we could get results if we played well, and we just built on that. We were positive with the team, and I think the team knew they, could have done better in certain moments in both those games. So overall, we were pretty positive with the response from those 2 losses. And
similar to what Colleen's team did, able to beat a good local team here in northeastern Pennsylvania in the college ranks. And Misericordia University had a pretty nice season. You beat them 2-1.
Yeah, it was a big game on our calendar because their head coach is my former assistant for 5 seasons, and he's got a lot of relationships and friendship with our players. And it was a fun game to have Andy here back at Fitz, and it was a good game. I think there's a lot of good local teams here in the Northeast PA college level that's fun to watch, and Andy's certainly doing a good job at Misericordia.
And, of course, playing against the number 13 team in the nation, and Haverford, that's a tie and double overtime, and nice to see that you can match up against some of the best in the country with you guys, of course, making it to the NCAA playoffs this weekend. Again, another shot in the arm for this program, but you guys have seen your success. Talk about the next step here for this juniors and seniors this weekend.
Yeah, I think the guys are geared up for the weekend. They'd like to, definitely win the first game. We think we have a pretty good matchup against Penn State Behrend. We've been able to see some video on them and get a good scout put together. But the guys are really confident, and they're excited to be in the tournament, and they hope that, we can get a good positive result and advance and play on Sunday.
And Colleen mentioned a little bit, she's got a young lady that scored 13 goals, and this year you guys have some goals that have kind of gone around. There are guys scoring 7 and 4, a bunch scoring 3, so it's kind of spread around a little bit, but you're led by Henry Bonilla.
Yeah, Henry's had a great year for us. I think 5 of his 7 goals have been game winners, and Henry's proven in the past to get some game winners, but now he's been a full-time starter, and I think we're seeing not only the goals, but his work rate off the ball. He does a lot of defending as a forward and just creates a lot of turnovers, and that leads to our counterattack, and we're pretty successful off our counter. But we're also good on set pieces. We score a lot of goals from set pieces. We're a pretty good team executing them. We've got good size, so that's kind of where some of the goals get spread out, too.
Talk about your keeper and Eric Hintz and the job that he's done for you.
Yeah, Eric's been great. 4-year starter. We recruited him, 4 or 5 years ago, and knew that he was going to be someone we could count on. Growing pains early as a young goalie, but he's a great leader, very athletic, great shot stopper. We know we can get a couple of big saves for us every game if we need it, and he's just been kind of the epitome of our team.
And, Matt, let's talk a little bit about how much you and your wife, Colleen, share about the game of soccer and maybe even about each other's team, that, you see things or she sees things.
Yeah, we're always talking soccer. We pick each other's brains quite a bit. We talk, team culture. We talk tactics. We talk, player management. Certainly a lot of conversations at home and obviously in the office as well, but between August and November, there's a lot of soccer being, talked about in our home, and it's a lot of fun to share the same passions with your wife.
How about the recruiting process? How does that work between both of you? You got to hit the road. You got to get some recruits in there and kind of work out that schedule with the family.
Yeah, it's the scheduling with our son and trying to get everything taken care of has been it's been a challenge, but we've got great family and great friends that have helped us out. We can get on the road, and we juggle each other's schedules. Sometimes I go Saturday to recruit, and she'll go Sunday, and we just make it work.
Well, working it is for the University of Scranton and the women and the men's soccer programs. Want to thank both of you for joining us, and, of course, we're rooting for the University of Scranton this weekend. Go Royals.
Thank you.
You got it. University of Scranton Royals and Lady Royals playing this weekend here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.